What's going on, everyone? All right, well, I'm gonna talk about this little article I saw while I was going through the left wing's media on Vox. You're welcome. I wouldn't suggest ever reading through this. Some of your brain may just disappear. But conservative media's war on AOC is hammering her poll numbers. Conservative media's war. That's what's hammering her poll numbers. All right, let's read. A Quebec poll released on Thursday morning found that 23% of Americans had a favorable view of the member of Congress, while 36% had an unfavorable view. A negative 13 overall approval rating. 38% hadn't heard enough about her to have an informed opinion. Well, I don't know where those people have been living, possibly under a rock. I don't know how you couldn't have heard of this little gaff machine. This poll isn't a one-off finding. Three prior surveys, one in January from Morning Consultant, one in February from Fox, and a third in mid-March from Gallup, all found that more Americans had a negative view of AOC than had positive views. This might surprise a lot of Democrats who see all of her viral clips and impressive performances in Congress hearings and assume she's a popular rising star. First off, I don't think many people on the right give a one iota about her viral clips. I don't care. That doesn't faze me one. And impressive performances in congressional hearings. I haven't seen one impressive performance. I've seen what appears to be a child that's not getting her way, like kind of spaz out a little bit because no one's taking her seriously or this, that, and the other because she spits out some really stupid things. So I don't know where they're coming up with any impressive performance in congressional hearings because I watch almost all of hers and they're all just ridiculous. She just emotes. She doesn't speak in facts, and what she calls facts are not facts. I don't know where she's getting her information or who she's getting her information from, but she should probably fire them because they're not giving her real facts. They're just giving her opinions. So what is going on? Cortez herself has a preferred explanation. Let's see what the little Nimrod has to say. That she's been vilified on Fox News and other conservative outlets, and they've driven her national approval rating down. If this theory is right, then you'd expect her negative favorables to be driven almost entirely by Republicans detesting her and everyone else not being as familiar with her. And that appears to be exactly what's happened. I think that's a complete bullshit statement right there. That's a lie. It's people know of her. A lot of people know of her. And they know she's a gaffe machine. They know she always says just stupid things. She always pushes crazy things. It's not just the Republicans. There's a lot of Democrats. See, leftist media like Vox, they hate to admit that there's a lot of Democrats that don't like the direction and the push that the Democrats are taking in this far left manner. And they don't like to admit that those people even exist. They really don't. They like to keep their little infighting very quiet and within. But when you got people like AOC, Rashida Tlaib, Ilham Omar making so much noise, they can't keep that argument in-house. But let's see. How conservative media is dragging down AOC's poll numbers. If you look at the detailed breakdown of the latest poll from Quinnipiac, you will see that Cortez is viewed extremely favorable among Democrats. 47% views her favorability, and 7% view her unfavorably. By contrast, she's viewed overwhelmingly unfavorably among Republicans. A scant 2% view her favorably, probably men that just think she's kind of cute, while 74% view her unfavorably. everyone else in the party that's thinking with this head and not the other one. The most striking partisan gap is how many people in each party are familiar with her. That's because conservatives actually pay attention to who's our policymakers, to who they are and what they do and what they're doing. What is their aim? I don't think Democrats, especially these younger people, they don't care. They according to a lot of what they say, they want the government to have unfettered power over people's lives. So they don't care what the government's doing. They don't want to pay attention to what they're doing. They just want them to do it and tell us what to do, according to a lot of younger left-wing people. A large number of Democrats, 44%, haven't heard enough about her to have an opinion. A smaller percentage of Republicans, 23%, can say the same. AOC is simply better known among Republicans than Democrats, and this is driving her unfavorable zone. I don't see that. I don't see how Republicans would know. See, to me, that shows a little break in the Democratic Party. How would more Republicans know of her than Democrats? Y'all don't push your own people up? You don't prop up your own people? That's kind of weird. That's kind of strange. This article is just weird, man. All right, the Washington Post's Philip Bump analyzed Fox News segments between January 1st and February 15th of this year, comparing the number of segments mentioning AOC to those focused on at least one of the Democratic 2020 presidential candidates. It turns out she got more coverage on Fox than any candidate save one, Senator Elizabeth Warren, who is also a right-wing boogeyman. No, she is also a human gaffe machine. We're not worried about these people. Vox, us on the right are not worried about AOC. You know, the left has a habit of eating themselves. She will be caught up in that. I guarantee she will be caught up in that. They're going to get her out of there. They do not like her. She came in there, what was it, like her first month, she already held a protest inside Nancy Pelosi's office protesting her. She has not been well received or well liked in her party. There are some far left people, as I mentioned earlier, Rashida Tlaib, Ilham Omar, and there's others that have been more down low about things. But still, her party as a whole aren't too fond of her. But she also got significantly more news coverage than fellow Democratic Socialist Senator Bernie Sanders, because Bernie Sanders is a very old geriatric man that I don't think no one wants to take seriously. And I don't think his own party wants to take him seriously anymore. But we'll have to see on that, because it looks like Me Too finally, to all conservative chagrin, because we've been calling this for years and years now, old Creepy Joe. One woman said anything or said something, and now bam, all of his pictures are coming out. And it's funny because they say they try to take up for old Joe. You know what? Let's not talk about Joe right now. That'll be my next video. We'll get into that. Let's stick with AOC. In an interview with the New Yorker's David Remnick, AOC characterized all the media attention as exhausting and borderline dangerous. I've got a full-time job in Congress, the scariest thing she's ever uttered. And then I moonlight as America's greatest villain, the most accurate thing she's ever uttered. Or as A New Hope, also the most false thing she's ever uttered. So, damn, she ran a heck of a gamut right there and won the statement. And it's pretty tiring, she said. This ravenous hysteria is really getting to a level that's kind of out of control. Well, you created it with your ravenous hysteria on stuff like climate control and this, that, and the other. And come on, man. You gotta love it. You gotta love that. When someone's so dumb, they don't see that they are the ones who caused the hysteria around them. I got to tell you, I was watching one of AOC's town halls last week, and she came out and said that that hurricane that hit Puerto Rico a few years ago was their 9/11. She compared that to 9/11. She said it's the same thing. And then she proceeded to say that the United States federal government didn't send them any aid and stuff like that. Well, I think she needs to go back and read those news articles, because it showed that the Puerto Rican mayors, they were corrupt. There were thousands of containers down there with aid that were never opened, and once they were opened, everything inside was rotten and no good because they hid them from the people. She used this as, I don't know what she was using this for, trying to say, I guess, that this administration doesn't give a shit about anybody, but that's not true at all. We sent it down there. Your people, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the Puerto Ricans themselves, the government of Puerto Rico themselves screwed the people of Puerto Rico. Get your facts straight before you go on a national stage in public eye and spit out false information. I know that's all you're good at doing, AOC, but please, for the love of all that is holy, do yourself a favor and do us a favor, for we don't have to fact check every word that comes out of your pea-brain little mouth. Come on. As always, like, share, and subscribe. I've got some more videos coming out. I'll be talking about old creepy Uncle Joe, and there's a couple more articles I might get into. But as always, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you all on the flip side.